Are we all seeing the same colors? The mystery of perception.
Here's a mind-boggling thought. When you look at the sky and see blue, is your blue the same as everyone else's? Scientists say that while most of us agree on the names of colors, the way we actually see them can be very different. Our individual eyes and brains work together to interpret colors, which means the blue you see might look different compared to someone else's view. It gets even wilder. Some women have a rare genetic trait that lets them see millions more colors than the average person. They're called tetrachromates because they have a fourth type of color receptor in their eyes. Imagine being able to see hues that are invisible to others, like having a superpower. But don't worry if you're seeing the world with the regular 3 types of cones. The beauty of colors is there for everyone. Just think, every time you look at a painting or a colorful garden, you're having a unique experience. That's the amazing world of human perception.
How hot air balloons can trick your senses.
Hot air balloons are like colorful giants floating gently in the sky. But they've got a surprising secret. They can make it seem like time has slowed down. When you're up in a hot air balloon, there's no breeze to feel because you're moving with the wind. This tricks your body into thinking it's standing still, even though you're actually soaring through the air. Super weird, right? And it gets more interesting. Since there's no feeling of movement, your brain might think time is passing slower. Scientists call this effect relative velocity. It's all about how fast you think you're moving compared to things around you. On the ground, things whiz past you fast, so you feel speedier. Up in the balloon, the ground seems to crawl below you, messing with your sense of speed. Next time you see a hot air balloon, remember it's not just a pretty thing to look at, but a flying machine that can play time-bending tricks on your senses.
Do elephants have a secret super sniffer? Uncover the trunk's mighty powers.
Elephants are known for their big ears and long trunks, but did you know their trunks are super sniffers? An elephant's trunk is like a Swiss Army knife for the nose. It does everything. Scientists have discovered that elephants can smell water from up to 12 miles away. That's like being at one end of a city and sniffing out a swimming pool at the other. Their sense of smell is so strong because they have a huge number of smell receptors, way more than humans and even dogs. These gentle giants use their smelling superpower to find food, water, and even to communicate with each other. Elephants can pick up scents with their trunks and share smelly messages like we use emojis. But it's not just about smelling. Elephants also use their trunks to breathe, trumpet, drink, and grab things. The next time you see an elephant, remember it's not just a magnificent animal, it's also a sniffing superhero of the animal kingdom.
Can fish teach astronauts about space travel? Discover the aquatic astronauts.
What do fish and astronauts have in common? More than meets the eye. Scientists study fish to learn about the effects of microgravity on bones, which helps them understand what might happen to astronauts in space. In space, without gravity, astronauts can lose bone density, just like fish do in water. Here's where it gets really interesting. Tiny fish called zebrafish have bones that look surprisingly like ours, and they can regenerate their bones if they get damaged. Researchers send these small swimmers to the International Space Station to see how their bones change in space. The zebrafish are like mini, finned astronauts helping us out. By watching what happens to them, scientists can figure out ways to protect human bones on long space missions. Imagine that. Thanks to fish, we could make sure that astronauts stay strong while exploring the stars. The next time you see a fish tank, think about how these little creatures are making a big splash in space science.
Can you imagine living in a pineapple? Not just under the sea.
We know SpongeBob lives in a pineapple under the sea, but did you also know that people once used real pineapples, not as homes, but as symbols of luxury? Back in the 1700s, pineapples were extremely rare and expensive in Europe. If someone could get their hands on a pineapple, it was like owning the latest fancy car today. People were so proud of having pineapples that they didn't just eat them. They displayed them at parties to show off their wealth. And it didn't stop there. They even rented pineapples just to take them to events and then returned them after. This fruit was such a status symbol that images of pineapples started showing up everywhere in architecture, on furniture, and even on clothes. So whenever you enjoy a sweet slice of pineapple, think about how it was once more than a tropical snack. It was the ultimate flex. Who knew that the pineapple on your kitchen counter had such a fancy history?
Could a volcano's power give us a fever? The heat beneath our feet.
Volcanoes aren't just mountain-sized fireworks. They're so hot that they could easily give you a fever. Imagine our body temperature is about 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, right? Now, get this. Lava from a volcano bursts out at temperatures ranging between 1,300 to 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. That is super hot. Like if you tried to cook dinner in a lava flow, it'd be done in a flash. Volcanoes are not just show-offs with their heat. They also keep our planet's plates moving and even create new land. Places like Hawaii are made from cooled-down lava. So, next time you're feeling a bit warm, just remember, you're nowhere near the heat that a volcano packs. It's amazing to think there's something on Earth that makes our warmest summer day feel like a cool breeze. Volcanoes are like giant natural heaters for our planet, and they've been shaping the Earth's surface for millions of years.
Why are pigeons like flying historians? Discover their secret messages.
Do pigeons seem pretty ordinary to you, just birds that hang around cities? Well, these birds have been carrying secrets through the sky for thousands of years. Pigeons used to be message carriers. They were the text messengers of the past. Imagine a world without phones, internet, or mail trucks. People would attach tiny notes to pigeons' legs, and off they'd fly, delivering messages over long distances. These feathery postmen have an amazing built-in GPS. They can find their way home from places they've never been, across hundreds of miles. In fact, during wars, armies would depend on pigeons to carry critical battle updates. Some pigeons were so good at their job, they even received medals for bravery. One famous pigeon, named Chair Army, saved nearly 200 soldiers' lives by carrying a message across enemy lines during World War I, despite being injured. Next time you see a pigeon pecking the ground for crumbs, give it some respect. Its ancestors were the heroes of the skies, proving that not all superheroes wear capes. Some have feathers and a beak.
Do elephants really sleep standing up?
You might have heard that elephants can sleep while standing up. And guess what? It's true, but there's more to the story. Most of the time, elephants doze off while standing because their huge size makes it tricky to lie down and get back up. But when they want a really good sleep, they will lie down for a proper rest. Elephants are also fascinating because they only need 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night, way less than us humans. Could you imagine only sleeping for such a short time and still having enough energy to help your family and remember where the best snacks are in the wild? That's the life of an elephant for you. But don't worry, even if they sleep less, they still have plenty of time to dream. Scientists have seen signs that these gentle giants probably dream just like we do. So the next time you see an elephant, whether it's snoozing on its feet or lying down, think about what it might be dreaming about.
How does a caterpillar turn into a butterfly?
Caterpillars to butterflies. It's like a magic trick happening right in nature. But how does a chubby little caterpillar become a beautiful flying butterfly? It's not magic. It's metamorphosis, a super cool process that seems almost unbelievable. When a caterpillar is big enough, it makes a snug case around itself called a chrysalis. Now here's where it gets wild. Inside the chrysalis, the caterpillar's body completely changes. It's like it turns into caterpillar soup, but from this soup, all the parts needed for a butterfly are formed. Imagine melting down a toy car and turning it into a drone. That's how drastic this change is for the caterpillar. This makeover can take from a few weeks to several months. When it's finally ready, the new butterfly has to push its way out, and it's not an easy job. The struggle helps to get fluids into its wings so it can fly. The next time you see a butterfly, remember it started its life as a totally different creature. Nature has its very own shapeshifters.
What's so special about honey that never spoils?
Honey is a sweet treasure that's not just yummy, but also super amazing because it can last forever. That's right, honey found in ancient Egyptian tombs was still good to eat after thousands of years. You might wonder, how can a food not spoil? The secret is in how bees make it. Bees collect nectar from flowers and mix it with an enzyme in their mouths. This mix then goes into the honeycomb. The bees flap their wings super fast to dry out the nectar, which turns it into honey. Because of this, honey has very little water, which makes it a bad place for bacteria to grow. Honey is also quite acidic, and that's no good for germs that want to spoil it. Lastly, honey has natural preservatives like hydrogen peroxide that keep it fresh. All these things make honey practically a superfood that doesn't go bad. So when you enjoy your next drop of honey, think about the incredible work of bees and the science that keeps your honey sweet and perfect for pretty much forever.